The layout for this presentation would consist of the information on Mondelez and Mars Inc., information on the confectionery industry, SWOT analysis of Trebor, mints and Skittles, justification for the co-branding, segment, target and positioning STP, the brand identity, IMC, marketing mix, and ideas for the future, and we'll end with the summary. Mondelez International was founded in 1923 by Thomas McInerney and is also rooted in National Dairy Products Corporation, who acquired Kraft Inc. in 1930. The company changed its name to Kraft Go-Co. However, after moving away from its dairy product into other revenue avenues, this then decided them to choose a name that doesn't limit that expansion and image. Also, many acquisitions occurred in the following years, and the most important of which we picked up on was that of the British confectionery group, Cadbury, in 2010, which was acquired by Kraft at the value of 19.5 million. Mondelez is a multinational confectionery food beverage conglomerate with billion-dollar brands such as Toblerone, Oreos, Cadbury, Trident Gum, and many more. In 2015, the figures stated that the revenue was about 29 billion, the gross profit was slightly above 11 billion, the net income was about 7.267 billion, and it also stated that they control 13% of sugar and gum confectionery, and also earns about 182 million pounds in sugar and gum confectionery. Mars Incorporated. Mars Incorporated is an American global manufacturer of confectionery, pet food, and other food products. Mars was founded in 1911 by Franklin Cyrus Mars and is also ranked as the 7th largest privately held company in the US. In 1911, Franklin and his wife, Ethel Mars, started the company, but the venture ended up failing. He then returned to Minnesota, where he started the company with his son. He named it Marabaka, which later then changed to Mars Incorporated. In 2008, in conjunction with Berkshire Hathaway, they both bought out Railway Juniors Company, the owner of Skittles, for about 23 Mars. As we all know that Mars is a private business and is run by the Mars family, the company operates about 6 business segments, which include the chocolate sector, the pet care, food, Wrigley, which bought out, drinks, and Symbio Science. Its brands include Milky Way, Skittles, Snickers, Twix, and many more. As a private company, most of the information is private. However, we found out that this company is valued at 33 billion. Mars controls about 8% of the sugar and gum confectionery, and it also earns about 106 million pounds from the sugar and gum confectionery.
Now I'll discuss the SWOT analysis for Skittles. Firstly, the main strengths we found that it has a strong social media presence and strong advertising, and also it is obviously a well-known brand. However, the weaknesses is it's seen as a very unhealthy product with high calories and high sugar, especially at this day and age when obesity levels are of high concern. It's also a younger target audience. The opportunities we found that it could use product variation, such as the addition of new flavours, and also a reduced sugar version, potentially. Lastly, the threats are that it has lots of strong competitors, such as Starburst and Runts, and also it is more likely to lead to a potential shift in consumer tastes, such as to M&M's, which is a chocolate sweet.
So now we have the SWOT for Trebor, and SWOT is broken down into strengths, weaknesses, threats, and opportunities. The strengths for Trebor is that it has a very strong brand loyalty, and it also has 39% of the market share of mints in the UK. It also has a very popular product in that it is sweet for adults for being healthy. The threats for Trebor is that there are Mentos and Tit Tats, which are another product which could take away their consumer base. Polo is also engaged in product development at this time. The weaknesses for Trebor are that it lacks new products and has only a few amount of varieties of flavors. They're also much more powerful than other mints, so it might alienate a younger crowd. Finally, there's the opportunities, and this allows for greater flavors, international expansion into the US, a sugar-free product, and even maybe a dental health care where it helps your mouth. We were giving Trebor Extra Strong Mints as the main brand. Trebor is dull and doesn't really grab attention, as well as suffers from a low social media presence and has a low variety of flavors. To offset this, we decided to co-brand it with the Mars Inc. product, Skittles. Skittles has 130 different flavors, a very strong social media presence, and has a strong following of consumers. In turn, Skittles will gain a co-pairing with a product that is healthier than a snack or candy that also lasts a lot longer. This will help Skittles reach a new target audience that was once put off by the high calorie and unhealthiness of candy. When paired, these two brands will create a better appealing brand that will help offset each other's weaknesses with their strengths. More reasons why the co-branding of Skittles and Trebor Mints makes sense is due to the lack of flavor in other competitors. 90% of new product development's flavors consist of 3 different flavors: peppermint, spearmint, menthol. With Skittles as the co-branding partner with Trebor Mints, we'll have dozens of different flavors to diversify ourselves and attract attention from consumers. Beyond the flavors is also the health concerns. Millions of people are looking to get healthier snack options, and a mint-flavored candy will provide the best of both worlds, giving them the flavor they desire, but in a healthy format. And finally, there is concern about whether Skittles is also sold to older people. However, those concerns are unfounded, as the age group under 24 do not buy the majority of Skittles. In fact, the age groups 25 to 34 and 34 to 44 are the main group of consumers for Skittles, ensuring that older generations and older groups of people do consume Skittles.
For the segmentation of our consumers, we have decided to segment the confectionery market based on 3 variables: demographic, behavioristic, and psychographic. For the demographic, we found out that 51.6% of the UK adults consumed mints in 2015, with men consuming 4.6% more than women. For the behavioristic, we found out that 39% of adults bought confectionery after seeing it in store, which shows that there is a high level of impulse decisions made in this market. We also found out that 7.5% of adults consumed mints once or more a day in 2014. For the psychographic, we found out mints on average tend to be popular with all social classes, especially C1 and D social classes.
In the UK mint market, there are 3 main players that Skittles will have to compete with. They include Mentos, Polo, and Tit Tat. Mentos is the big competitor that everybody knows of. It has a very strong international presence. It has a high amount of variety of mints. It also has a low calorie, it's affordable, and it's tasty. The weakness is, though, that Mentos has is that it has pretty much no ad presence and has a very small shelf and store exposure. This means that it has a hard time getting out and getting notoriety. The second competitor, Polo, is an even more well-known brand in the UK. It has a very strong presence, diverse flavors, and it's tasty. The issue, though, with Polo is that it has almost no media presence. Its sales are static for the 2015 year, and the brand is lacking vigor. It has almost no identity behind it. The third competitor is Tit Tat. Unique in the marketplace, it has a very unique mint and packaging. However, besides that, Tit Tat has 2 many weaknesses. First of all, it has a very small ad presence, but it does have an ad presence. The second and most major weakness of all, though, is that its price is not comparable to Mentos or Polo, and it has almost no store exposure. With these weaknesses, it provides an opportunity for Skittles, the Skittles Trebor co-brand, to make an entrance into the marketplace and gain market share.
Let's go. Segmentation of the market. The confectionery market is split into 2 subsegments: chocolate confectionery and sugary confectionery. The sugar confectionery market is further divided into 4 subsegments, and of those, the mint market is worth £179 million in 2014. It has grown 1.7% from the previous year. We believe that this is a good sized market for both firms to enter and derive value from it. Targeting strategy for both brands currently. The targeting strategy for both brands currently is a concentrated strategy. but both brands have tried to move from a concentrated strategy into an undifferentiated strategy. Trebor has tried to move into the gum segment, but failed due to poor sales. Skittles has tried to move into the mint segment in the USA and have spent £2 million advertising campaign promoting in the UK. However, they do not actively promote it now and have ceased production. So, our proposed targeting strategy is to use a concentrated approach to penetrate the mint segment. We have decided to use a concentrated approach because the mint market is experiencing stable growth and there are a relatively small number of new brick launches within this market. Furthermore, the Trebor brand has a strong brand loyalty within the mint subsegment, which would make it viable for us to enter.
Both brands are positioned as fun and enjoyable, which can be seen in their most recent advertisements. However, both are targeting different customer segments, with Skittles trying to target the younger target audience, which is 16 to 25 year olds, and Trebor targeting a more older target audience, with 25 to 55 year olds.
So, our proposed positioning for the new Skittles brand is to differentiate from current competitors who only offer similar minty flavors. The positioning statement for our brand will be the ribbon which you never know you need. This is because we want to make consumers aware of the unmet needs, and also because we are taking an identity-based approach towards marketing. The creation of a new brand name to move away from the Skittles association, the Skittles has an association with children, will help us position the brand towards the more mature market Trebor is associated. Here is a product perceptual map of the mint market. As you can see, the polos are positioned towards the lower end of the market with low price and low quality. A little further from that is the Tic Tacs, which are positioned in the middle of the market. And a little further from that is our new brand, Skittles. Skittles is positioned near enough towards Trebor in order to derive some value from Trebor's current position.
What are Skittles? That question goes beyond the product and looks into what we want the brand to be perceived as, both by us and by our consumers. What is the brand identity of Skittles? Brand identity is the outward expression of the brand, including its name, trademark, communications, and visual appearance. How others perceive our brand to be in all aspects. Visually, we want Skittles to be simple, but also outgoing. We want it to be something that people are going to see and spot. It's going to have the same design and packaging as Trebor, with the same simple design with the green star, but it's going to have the Skittles rainbow and the bright colors that's going to attract attention and have people drawn toward the package and also want to see what it is and pick it up. Beyond the appearance of Skittles is also the rest of the brand's identity, which in this case is Camphor's brand identity prism, which has 6 different segments for what the brand identity is. They have physique, relationship, reflection, personality, culture, and self-image. Each of these are identifying what our brand image is. Physique is going to be small and easy to carry and easily recognizable. Relationship, something that's pleasure and outgoing, someone that's adventurous. Reflection, we want people that are young and want to have a good time eating these. Personality, you got to be energetic on the go. These are who we're going to be advertising to. Our culture is going to be British, but we're going to want to expand to the US at some point, and also have a fun and active lifestyle with the candy. And finally, our self-image. We want young adults to be able to eat this anytime they want in a social and lively atmosphere, as well as smokers if they want to get rid of any bad breath.
So, for our integrated marketing communications, we've decided that the IMC strategy will be a pull strategy. This is where the consumers will demand our product from the intermediaries. The product will be launched 1 month before the Champions League final. And in the run to the event, we will launch a Facebook football challenge in order to promote our product. The Facebook football challenge will be advertised on major motorways using billboards, and it will also be advertised using press advertising in major UK airports. The major reason we decided to do this is because that we believe the majority of our target market will travel to the locations to watch the final event. This would be an excellent opportunity to remind them of the Facebook challenge and also to promote our product. Another reason why we decided to do this is that car journeys account for the biggest occasion for the consumption of mints.
The flavour of Skittles will be blended with the intense mintiness of Trebor mints to create an exciting new product to revitalise the boring mint market. To do this, we will differentiate the product in 3 levels. Firstly, the core product will help users solve the problem of bad breath. Secondly, the actual product will offer a variety of different flavours compared to traditional mint flavour, and also clean packaging. Lastly, the augmented product will be differentiated through brand and brand values. The product strategy will be to create 2 versions of the product. Firstly, the small portion, which is to encourage the trial of the product at a lower price. And secondly, the group share/party portion. This is where more consumers prefer to buy larger packs. This can be used to further increase sales.
One of the P's of the 4 P's is price. Price is very important, as 41% of consumers see price as the primary influence when purchasing a product, mainly food. A total of 88% view it as an influence in their top 5. This means that price is a very powerful indicator for if people are going to buy or not buy our product. To get market share in the very beginning, we're going to lower our price to make it something that's affordable and make it something that people want to go out and get, even though it's cheaper. So to do that, we're going to let the price go down a little bit lower, about 10% of our normal price, and then after a couple months, when we have a solid brand loyalty and we have loyalty from customers, we'll raise the price up to our normal prices, which for one roll is 60p. For a 4-pack, which is 4 rolls, we're going to be doing £2. And if you want to order more, maybe you want to order a 20-pack or higher, you can do so online at the same price, which 4-pack is for £2. Now, we're pricing them this way because we want to be competitive with the other competitors out there. Icebreakers, Tic Tac, you have Polo, Mentos. Most of these are rated at 60p, a quid, and we want to be right there. We don't want to be too low because that means that we don't see our product as being as top quality as these products, but we don't want to be too high to alienate other consumers. So we're looking to price them just at this level, and hopefully the image and then the flavors will make people want to buy our product and not so much the price.
Right. So the distribution of the product will be through an intermediary with intensive channel distribution. The reason we'll be using intensive channel distribution is because the emphasis is because 39% of adults cited that they would buy chew confectionery after seeing it in the store, which means we would have to use convenience stores. The convenience stores we would most like to distribute through are London's Premier and Nisa, who have over 7,500 outlets combined. We will also be distributing through petrol stations such as BP, Texaco, and Shell. This is because car journeys account for the biggest consumption of mints. So for the promotion of our new Skittles product, we will be mostly focusing on engagement rather than awareness, since consumers cited promotions as a low reason to buying sweets compared to seeing them in store. The engagement strategy will be to challenge users on Facebook to beat a world record set for the most number of kickoffs with a mint by a Premier League footballer. This will appeal to our lively brand image, and also the product will be launched 1 month before the Champions League final, as previously mentioned. We will also be using motorway billboards en route to the southeast of England to remind users of the association with the Skittles and the Champions League final. So, the application in the practical business context. There are some problems with our product in applying it to the practical business context. Some of those are co-branding with Skittles may cannibalize the sales of Lano's, specifically the recently launched Discovery Patch, owned by Mondelez. Furthermore, the Champions League final will also have a lot of noise from other brands and other competitors. To avoid this, we will avoid the use of mass market promotional tools such as TV to reduce noise and hopefully get our message across. Furthermore, an opportunity exists for our brand to expand into the US, since US mint sales have grown by 20% over the past 5 years.
Finally, we're at the conclusion of our presentation, and here I just want to go over once again the main points on why Skittles will be a successful co-brand between Trebor and Skittles. The combined product of both Skittles and Trebor has the same strengths that are going to make this product great while they complement each other and get rid of the weaknesses, such as the unhealthy factor, the dullness, the no social media presence. It targets a boring market that has room for people to go into and someone to grab that market and make it their own, which is what we're hoping to do with Skittles. Finally, it demonstrates the ability to fill this niche market and create revenue both for Mendoza and for Mars Inc.